I'm your host, Dean Austin, D to the E, the A to the N. Welcome to this MuddaCluckin podcast. My guest today is the head of Executive Strategic Talent Acquisition at UST. And guess what? He was my comedy road dog, Kendall Messner. All right, look at my man, Kendall Messner in the house. What's up, brother Kendall? Kendall Messner. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have to let you know this is my man from way back in the day, and a comedian. And there's a such thing as pivoting. He's pivoted from being a successful comedian to being successful. I can't even say the title is so successful. Tell everybody what your title is, because you have such a great plethora of work behind you in your new profession. Can you please let everybody know exactly the acquisition talent on top of the world? Can you let everybody know what's up?
Yeah, I think the title is human being. It took a lot of work to get to human being after all the touring as a stand-up comedian. So first and foremost, that's where I've landed. But now serving as the global head of talent acquisition, strategic talent acquisition at a company called UST. And
nice.
Yeah, having a great time. Very well. I mean, I made episode 26. I'm honored. It feels a little bit bad right now, but come episode 126, think about how that person's going to feel. I'll be able to look back and go, you know what? I was on episode.
I was just 26, but see, you are the man. You're the man. That's why I had to have you on, because our history is the road. We went to Oregon together. We went to Texas together. I rode in your car, man. You had it was a Ford Taurus.
Yep.
A Ford Taurus. Now, look, the Ford Taurus was I wouldn't call it a beaner. No. It was definitely a road dog car with fingernail polish on the dashboard.
Yeah, and it was one of the more comfortable cars to sleep in, which is important on the road at times. I think we went through New Mexico. We went through Colorado and Durango. We had some adventures there. But I was thinking today about Pecos, Texas.
Pecos, Texas. Tejas. Boy, I tell you, they didn't know what to make of us, because at the time you had some hair on your head.
Yeah.
You know, kind of hippie-ish looking to them, to the Texans. You were hippie-ish, and I'm black, so we look like mules.
We definitely were running drugs.
We were running drugs. We got stopped in Amarillo, Texas. Amarillo, Texas.
That's right.
We were on our way to a gig, and we got stopped, and one of the cops stayed back by the car, and he knew it wasn't right, because he was like, "Hey, we're gonna let this dude do it, but it's all right, you know."
And I remember that in Pecos, the car broke down. If you remember this, the amazing Ford Taurus broke down, and all we had left to do is sit and listen to AM radio. And we found the local Pecos AM radio station, which was a loop. And they said, "Hey, welcome to Pecos, Texas, home of the world's biggest outdoor swimming pool and the largest grapefruit." And those are the two things.
We were like, grapefruit? Should we go to a place and get the largest grapefruit in Texas?
Yeah, they had a really low-grade county fair going on.
Right.
It's more just little children's kiddie bathtubs or little kiddie swimming pools with cups floating in it.
It was the funny thing about it is that when we went, that one guy that was operating the rides, he really didn't feel like doing it. He hated his job.
Right.
He hated his job.
That's the carny way, though.
Right. I mean, he was like, "All right, everybody get on. Sit down." Push the button, and he would do. There was no cell phone, so he wasn't looking at cell phones back then. All he was doing was looking at his dirty nails, picking his dirty nails, and letting us go around in circles. And he wouldn't even everybody had a different time. It's supposed to be a 2-minute ride. Some did 6.
Yeah.
Some did 3.
Yeah. And as far as seatbelts go, you're on your own. You better make sure you're locked in.
Seatbelt was not included back then. If you had a belt on and you can strap it to the actual bar, then you were better than a seatbelt.
Wow.
And that's what's amazing. Now, how did you get into comedy though? Because I remember we met. You know, we met in Idaho. No, not Idaho. It was Utah.
No.
Utah.
We met in Elk City, Oklahoma.
That's the first place, Elk City.
Yeah, and it was the first time I met you. We met at McDonald's.
You're right.
You were the only black guy there, so it's super easy for me to spot you.
The only black dude at McDonald's, they go, he's not supposed to be here. He must be. We need to call the cops. So then the cops followed us from Elk City all the way to Amarillo.
Elk City on the Ken. What is the guy? Ken something.
Ken Rand Productions.
Yep.
On Ken Rand.
It was a good average 300 miles between gigs. It wasn't as bad as a triple. It wasn't a 400-mile average.
It was actually great because, you know, of course, with the company, us hanging together, clowning was amazing. But it wasn't as bad because, you know, at least it was all flat land.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, when you start going up in Colorado, you got to go through Grand Junction. You got to go through here. You got to go through this area, Longmont, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like if your car is not built for it, you will be broken down on the side of the road.
Yeah.
So for all you people out there thinking about doing comedy, you better have a good car if you're going to go on the road. It's reliable. It doesn't have to be new. Doesn't have to be
humor
fancy.
Is secondary.
Right. Right. Forget material.
Yeah.
Get a car first. Work on your jokes in the car and then do them at the show. Long as you get to the show.
Yeah. I always was attracted to comedy. And even when I was a little kid, you know, Eddie Murphy and George Carlin and all of those masters of comedy were extremely attractive to me. I just couldn't get enough of it. And in high school, I competed in speech, something called after dinner speaking, in which they'd have state championships. And basically, it's a stand-up routine. And that's where I got the bug and took that into theater arts in college and eventually getting together with Camden and doing my high school buddy and doing the Varicose Brains for a few years, which is a duo comedy, and then breaking off of that and doing stand-up. And you were on my very first solo tour.
Wow. I was your very first. So you
quit my day job, and there you were at the McDonald's in Elk City, Oklahoma. You
were a virgin till you met a black man in McDonald's in Elk City, Oklahoma. That doesn't sound right. But I tell you one thing, we did give everyone an eyeful, and I enjoyed it all the way. I don't know if you remember the time we stopped and I said, "Hey, Kendall, I want to grab some tacos from this gas station." You said, "Okay." So we pulled over and I got the tacos, and they were so hot because you were laughing at me that I could barely eat them, but I was hungry.
Yeah.
So I was still scarfing them down. I was choking, and you was like, "Hey, you must really be hungry because that was the hottest taco." I felt like my nose was bleeding. I had tears in my eyes. I was like, "Oh no!" But
my gosh,
it was crazy. That was a trip. That trip was crazy. I can't believe it. And then there was a time where we went to do a gig, and you was like, "Hey man, did we go to the mall? No, we getting ready to do the gig." And I was like, "Yo, man, you got any more clothes?" Because you're just, I think, Kendall, I think you had like one pair of pants and one shirt.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to rock a hobo sort of look.
And I was like, okay, so I can see having a uniform. You know, this is my show gear. This is what I'm gonna wear, right? But I said, "Kendall, we're gonna get you some new clothes." And you're like, "Really?" And we went to Mervyn's.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. This is that shirt. Yes, I'm still wearing it.
I got you a whole new outfit at Mervyn's: shoes, pants, shirt, everything. And you were clean. We were going to we were in Texas. I think it was Midland, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there.
Yeah, we were in Midland. That's when we were hanging out at the mall trying to drum up business.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you want to come to a comedy show? We look like we were starving bums on the side of the road looking for people. Hey, you want to come laugh with us down at the Rusty Elk or whatever it is? And then they be like, okay, you know. And that was my first pawn shop I went to was in Midland, and I got my first earring.
I remember that.
And I was like, Kendall, should I get it? You like, oh, it's clean. it's Texas. It probably was in some cow poop. It's okay. It's fertilized. I'm like, okay.
I remember that. So you're the only person I've ever known to fall asleep while eating a candy bar. That happened on that.
That's hilarious.
And I don't remember hot tacos nearly as much as warm donuts. And that it seemed like you knew where the donut shops in each town were well before we could find the comedy club.
I think I sniffed them out.
Yeah, you got a sixth sense.
Right. I'd never been to these towns, but I knew where they were.
we managed to hit a donut place just at closing time. And you ask the lady, hey, what are you going to do with those extra donut holes? It's closing time. Are you going to throw them out or can we have them? She's like, you can have them. We couldn't believe that we could get free food so easily.
Yeah. And the first time, you know, was not Farmington, New Mexico. It was New Mexico. What part of New Mexico were we in?
Durango. We were on our way to Durango.
We're on our way to Durango. Where the balloons? Where they have the balloons every
season.
Yeah,
we're going to Albuquerque.
That's Albuquerque. Right, yes, the balloon festival. So we're driving, ladies and gentlemen. We're driving, and I was like, "Hey, Kendall, let's go get some free food." And you like free food? I was like, "Yes, just go and ask for it. They'll give it to you." And we went in. It was a Red Robin.
Yep.
Got some free buttermilk biscuits. They gave us 3. We were happy.
Yeah, you talked this guy into it, and he's just like, I'll say, all right, I'll set you up.
He said, okay, I'll be right back. And I thought he was going to get the manager. He came back with the biscuits.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, see, that's when you know you're a struggling artist when you say, let's go get some free food.
We got so lazy, so good at it, and so lazy about our free food. We eventually just started hitting the drive-ins.
Yeah, we went to McDonald's at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the time we went to Denny's, right?
Yeah.
And that's my favorite. That's my favorite. So everybody has to. This is funny. After we got the biscuits from Red Robin, we hit the McDonald's. We decided to go to Denny's, but we wasn't expecting it. So Kendall was like, "Hey, I'm gonna put my acting chops on. I'm about to go in and act like I'm sick. You bring me in and you act sick. So you were coughing." And I was like, me and my buddy, our car broke down and we don't have any food. And he was like, hold on a second. He went to get the regional manager. This guy was in town only for that particular time. And he was like, give them something. The guy is sick. He gave us steak dinners. We had full steak dinners with everything. And we were just like, we thought we were going to get some fries or something.
Well, that was under the condition that we would take it with us and leave.
Yes, we couldn't stay.
Eat it there.
We couldn't eat it there. They was like, you can take this, but you got to get out. But they were so nice. And I think the last one we were going to do was I want to say it was Farmington, New Mexico. Yeah. It was a KFC. It was a Kentucky Fried Chicken. And we was like, and I can't remember if we got anything, but I think that was our last time trying to do that. And it was fun because when you don't have any money, you're on the road and you just traveling from spot to spot. Free food is free food.
Yeah, and we tried to get free hotel as well.
That didn't work.
They didn't really go for it.
Free hotel don't work. Now free food can work, but free hotel, you pushing it. It. We slept in the car. We would go to Walmart and stay all day at Walmart. Matter of fact, at night.
That's right.
This is the best part. At night, you and I were in Walmart throwing the football and the frisbees around at 1:00 in the morning. And nobody even cared. None of the workers said anything. They didn't go, hey, don't do that. We were just like, hey, go deep, Kendall, go deep.
The thinking was we get them used to our presence and then we would find furniture and sleep on it.
Yes.
But they were real onto that.
They wouldn't have the fun. You could throw the ball, but you can't lay down.
Yeah, no laying down.
Right.
Well, we're coming up on Halloween.
Yes.
Soon, And we enjoyed a pretty good Halloween on that trip too.
Yes, yes. Halloween was good. And
New Orleans.
New Orleans was the best.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much craziness that went on in New Orleans. We really can't talk about everything, but we will say this. Remember, we woke up and there was an unopened bottle of wine right by the car. No one touched it. It was just sitting there like it was just waiting for us, just wine.
Yeah.
And Kendall, you were like, "Hey, there's some wine right here," and we took the wine, and I was like, "This is crazy. This is crazy." I don't know if you drank the whole thing by yourself.
Yeah, not on spot. I think I took my time a little bit.
Yeah. So New Orleans was amazing. Look, I will say this, Kendall. Every time we were on the road together, it was a blast. You always made it a blast. You were like a little brother to me. We were like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. We were like thick as thieves in Rush Hour. You know,
it was so fun. One of the other ones I remembered was when we did that improv on stage where we were doing Mumford and Ebert, and then we hung out with these folks. It was in
these folks, yeah,
rich. It was a really rich part of Texas. You remember the rich oil folks that invited us to their house the next day?
Yes,
we went and watched football there. They had like all the football games going. The wives are heading out to go watch Ricky Martin.
You know they had money because they had Ricky Martin. You know they had money because they had a lot of different TVs with the game on. It wasn't just one TV. Crazy. Back then, if you had more than one TV, you were rich. Most homes had one TV, but he had it was like a bar when you walk into his place.
Oh, that was in Beaumont, Texas.
Beaumont, Texas.
Yeah, that's right.
Beaumont, Texas. Yeah, that was fun. I had a blast. I enjoyed all of our times where we found places to crash. That's the best. When you're a comedian on the road starting out and you find a place to crash, it's nothing like it. It's heaven. Absolutely. It's the best. Because you can't afford to get a hotel. You don't know where to go. You just in your car and you just rolling. And you say, I can't wait till you get the next gig to get my pay. I can't wait to get my next gig to get on stage. Yeah. I need a place to lay my head. And then you just meet people.
Yeah. Then you meet other comedians too.
Other comedians and meet some really good people. Some very good people. We weren't worried about serial killers back then. we were worried about getting shot, stabbed, or nothing like that, or kidnapped. We even stayed at a hostel one time. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, did we?
Yes, we stayed at a hostel. We didn't stay like the whole night, but we went to the hostel, hung out with some people, and we were able to kick it for a bit at a hostel.
I stayed at one in Salt Lake that was pretty nice on my way down, actually, to meet with you in Oklahoma. So that must have been on my mind. When we went to the balloons too, you sleep pretty good in the car. And we were in a hotel parking lot, and all of a sudden, all these trucks started going someplace. They had balloons on the side of them. And I've read about the world's biggest balloon launch there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was like, maybe this is it. Followed them on out there. You slept through the whole thing. And then the sun starts to come up. I'm like, hey, Dean. And then you wake up to all of these hundreds of balloons flying up into the air.
I thought I was dreaming, Kendall. I thought I woke up and I was like, I'm in heaven. As a matter of fact, and I remember that day. There's one thing I remember about that day in particular is that I remember waking up, you waking me up, and then as a point, I think I fell back to sleep. You got out the car. But when I woke back up, you were gone. So I was like, what happened to Kendall? I hope he didn't get kidnapped by some knucklehead, some, serial killer. And then I said, oh, okay, we're at the balloon place. And that was my first time seeing all the balloons. It was beautiful. It was magical. Too bad we didn't have money to get on any of the balloons, but we did be able to watch the balloons.
I think I still had that bottle of wine. So I was trying to trade the wine for a balloon ride, but they didn't go for that.
They wouldn't go with that. They wouldn't go with that.
I even threw in a couple of donut holes, but they still didn't go for
it. They wouldn't go for none of that. They wouldn't go for none of that. Now, so you say sleep with a candy in my hand. Was that it? Was that at a one of the hotels or one of the hostels?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's hilarious.
You were always very nice to me. I really did appreciate it. It made comedy, even though my act was pretty subpar at that point. You made it a little bit easier to hone the craft.
Well, thank you, brother. You know,
yeah.
I couldn't have asked for a better opener, chauffeur, wino. You know, a better friend on the road, man. I honestly, I feel the same way. I mean, you made life easy on the road, easier, much easier on the road. Because when you're by yourself, it's not the same. You know, when you're away, it's different. When you're by yourself, you got other people, it's different. When you're by yourself, it's really hard. So, thank you, man. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I want to say this because I know you pivoted somewhat from comedy. You still can grace the stage. I know because not long ago you told me you were doing something out there. And when you made the pivot, how was that for you? Because I know you met your wife at a comedy spot in Idaho.
Yeah.
In Idaho. You went out there, you did your thing, and you know, you guys are beautiful together. I see all the lovely pictures.
That was wife number 2. So at strike 1 early in life.
That's right. That's right. Strike. It's okay. So the first one.
Third time is the charm.
Yeah. Not that one. Not that one.
Number 3 is
not that one.
Worked out well. Yeah.
The second one worked out better. My bad, brother.
No, number 3 actually. It took 3. So
it took 3. No, 2.
Yeah.
2.
No. Trust me, I know the count. Painfully.
Hey, they say 3 strikes you out, and you know what? I'm glad you got it in 3. It didn't go 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
you know.
I think I was definitely very done.
Okay, so I'm gonna back it up a little bit. You met one of your wives at a comedy club, and then moved on. And the mystery one that I don't remember is in the middle somewhere. I don't know where you met her. Maybe you met her when you were walking into.
I met her in the comedy club. Number 2. Number 3, who I am with today and have been married to for years and years, and we've been together now for about 14 years, is Tara, who I met in first grade. We just didn't get together until later in life. So
wait a minute, 14 years, brother?
Yeah.
Whew, man, I did not know that because I thought it was 14 combined. Told all 2. I thought, but it's all 3.
No.
Okay, all right. You know, you're like the Hugh Hefner of comedy. I love you because you never give up.
That's right.
You're not a quitter. You're not a quitter. Some people are quitters. They go, you know what? I had a rough first 2, so I'm never doing this again. You said, screw it. I'm going to go ahead and put my hat in the bucket one more time and get it out. And you did it, brother. Tars, congratulations on the 14 years. Yeah. I don't know when the anniversary is, but I'm going to tell you now for next year, if it's already passed, happy anniversary for 15.
Thank you.
You have beautiful, beautiful family, beautiful kids. I love all of the pictures and posts of you guys at the festivals and the, you know, in the concerts. It's amazing. And your wedding was amazing on the top of Mount Everest. It was beautiful, brother. It was beautiful. I don't know how you got up there. I don't know how you got her heels up there and you got her to the top, but you're like a magician, man. You do it all.
It was some years ago, but I was in good shape. I was in incredible.
Yeah, you were in great shape. You still look, you still got it going on. You know, you ain't slouching. You know, your hair. They say Samson is about his hair. You forget Samson. It's Kendall. No hair.
Mr. Clean, you know.
Mr. Clean.
Lots of muscly guys with bald heads.
Oh yeah, Mr. Clean's are strong. You know, muscle guys. You know, we both got the same haircut. It's a beautiful thing. Don't worry about it. That's what you got to tell people. Don't worry about it. It's smooth, and that's how we keep it. We like to keep it smooth.
Yeah, I like it.
Know. Now, I will say this because I know you have to go. I don't want to keep you here too long, but I wanted to at least chop it up with you and say thank you for being such a good friend, great comedian, and a good human being on the road and off the road, brother. It's not just on the road. We've kept in touch.
That's right. Yeah.
And I will say this. My podcast is all about all things funny, all things life. not just comedians, not just entertainers, but life, about things that are positive, that are uplifting, moving, inspirational.
Yeah.
And you have all of that combined and rolled up in you with this Mount Everest marriage, and bringing Mumford and Ebert into our lives. I think it's amazing. And I always do this during my podcast. It's called RQT, random question time.
Okay, let's do
So
it.
it's a random question. All you have to do is answer it and say why. Okay?
And say why. Okay.
And say why that's your answer. All right. For president, would you vote for Cardi B, Herschel Walker, or Mumford and Ebert? And
Mumford
why?
and Ebert.
And why?
Mumford and Ebert, because they are apolitical. They might not be the smartest, but they got big hearts,
right?
And if they will go out and accomplish whatever, albeit numbskull sort of thing that they want to do. They're going to get out and do it.
That's true.
Yeah,
they're going to do it, and that's what that's what I thought you would say, because Mumford and Ebert is so close to us in our world and our life, and they mean so much to us. So I would do the same thing. Mumford and Ebert. Forget Cardi B and Herschel Walker. Both of them, they can make babies and have a good time and do what they want to do together. But Mumford and Ebert, nobody messes with Mumford and Ebert. And everyone's wondering who the heck is Mumford and Ebert. I'll tell you this: if you don't know who Mumford and Ebert is, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
That's how we'll leave. Mumford and Ebert. I will say this, brother Kendall Messner, my man, comedian extraordinaire. My man who does the statistics and all of the strategic talent of the man that you are. I will say this, man. I will break bread with you. I will come to Oregon and we will hang out again. And I will say this, that whatever you do, don't remarry. Don't remarry. Go to the mountaintop with Tara and have your do your nuptials again I will be there.
Oh, that'd be very sweet.
I'll be there. I'm afraid of heights, brother, but I will go.
Thank you. That means a lot.
For you, I will go. You got to make sure. You got to make sure. You blindfold me, and have a helicopter. We good. I'll be there. But other than that, we good. Thank you so much, brother Kendall, for blessing the mic and blessing the screen and coming on this MuddaCluckin podcast.
I'm honored.
And like I said, man, enjoy. Happy holidays, my brother. Do your thing, and I will be in touch with you, and we will make this happen. We will break bread. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.